What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Big Cap. No bullshit, just conversations about passions, philosophies, and perspective. Here with another episode for you already know.
Co-host, Twan, neighborhood real nigga, you already know.
Yup.
One-on-one.
Right. And today, I feel like it's going to be interesting because regardless of any topic that we cover, I feel like a lot of people might see us discuss certain things and then maybe we've been accused of ganging up on people before. So I just want to... Assumptions. I mean, man, sometimes it is like, it might appear that way because literally we might have similar ideas on certain topics, similar things that we feel. So when we start to move forward within the argument or within the back and forth, it could feel like, oh, they just jumping on me and blah, blah, blah. But I want to, we'll probably call this one like reflection.
Red pill reflections or just reflection?
Not even. Well, I mean, yeah, we could call it something to that effect. Reflection on RP awareness or something to that extent, right? But the things that I have thought about all my life and that I've changed how I thought about over the past year or so, when I'm thinking about everything I've gone through, just reflecting on different things that I've heard about, different things that I've learned, I'm having more discussions with different people, and I'm like just looking at how we all react to different things. It has been so telling, and I have made so much personal growth just as a person. Now that I like realize a lot of these things, I'm able to move better. I'm able to process my own feelings better. I'm able to just calculate and plan better for different things in my life. And I have the goal of trying to help other people be able to do the same, become aware, understand how to move, understand how we interact with one another, understand how to better yourself as a man, especially for the men. And for the women, like, understand how men think, understand what men want from you, understand what you can bring to the table, opposed to just feeling
what is
like,
important.
Yeah.
That what is the most important for what you want.
Exactly. All these different things. Now, I've done my own reflection series with the blue residues, and I don't know, maybe at some point I might have a blue residue 4 because I feel like it's a process. Like, you just don't wake up one day and, like, since your understanding of what it means to be red pill or what, like, part of the RP, whatever, you don't just like change overnight. It's a lifelong process. It's a bunch of discipline. It's a bunch of understanding of what you need to do.
Yeah, a lot of the shit that you're conditioned to is like habits.
Yeah.
So like a lot of that shit takes time to break before like this is your default setting.
Right.
And it's like that's the end goal. You want the knowledge that you acquire that will make you better to be the default response to how you view shit.
That's real. Because I feel like a lot of people kind of move through life and they don't understand the value of a plan. And I do see the flip side to that, where you could be held back in life by your lack of spontaneity. But understanding the value of a plan is still very, very important. So, like, I just wanted to reflect on a lot of the things that we've talked about with other people. But before we get to that, we could discuss a particular thing that happened earlier, or a conversation, I'll say, per se, that I had with my barber, right? Love my barber. Had dope-ass conversations. That's my guy. So within that, we had a talk where he told me about a situation where he had a girl he was dealing with. Nothing serious. It wasn't a relationship. They was just having sexual relations. Plain and simple, right?
Just smashing.
Right.
Friends with benefits.
Yeah, sure, right? If that applies. So they're working at a job together, and another guy approaches him and act like, not literally in these like verbatim words, but to sum it all up, he pretty much asks what my barber's intention was with this girl. This guy was seeing the same girl to some extent. It's unclear whether or not he was sexual with her also. It was clear that he wanted that. But he established that he wanted something real with this girl. He wanted to be with this girl. So he approached the guy that he was aware she was already fucking.
The barber.
My barber, yep. Approached him, the guy that he knew the girl was already having relations with. and asked him about his intentions and what he wanted to do. And pretty much the way I perceive it, because the way it was presented to me, it seemed respectful for the most part. But if I were to use my red goggles here, I'm like, yo, this nigga really asked permission. He was like, yo, can I have her? Can I have your girl? Like, I know you fucking, but
may I have her hand in relationship?
It's like, yo, you mind if I take your side chick, bro? Is that all right? Like, can I wife up your side chick? That's pretty much what that was. And like, I feel like that's a good topic to start off on, because like when we talking about reflection, my thoughts on this in the past would have been way different. Now, here's the thing.
What, that's how you're supposed to do it?
Well, no, not necessarily that. I don't think that, but I'm saying like just in every aspect of it. Now, here's the interesting part. My borrower at this point in time was considering her and her long-term life, whatever, however you want to word that, right? He was considering, well, I mean, maybe this guy can be for her and she could be for him, and maybe they can have a family and have kids. Who am I to step in the way of that?
And I'm just fucking.
Yeah, when I'm just fucking. And it's just like, well, I get that to an extent. You know, I definitely do get where that's coming from. But I'm like, well, goddamn, this is just wild. It's like, like, bro, it's just a wild concept.
Imagine like another man asking you permission to date your side bitch.
That's pretty much what it is. Asking permission to wife her up. Literally, he wants a relationship. He not just trying to take her up, because he was already like talking to her, like, and then I had to flip it, and I'm like, well, damn, real quick. I don't think even in my most beta blue moments I would have ever go talk to the nigga that's already fucking the
yes,
hell out.
Bro, nah.
Never would I.
Hell no.
I know this nigga is fucking the girl I want. I don't want her no more. She's getting fucked by a nigga that work at my job. I already know that. Why in my craziest, wildest experience, why would I choose to put a relationship stamp on a girl at my job who was getting piped out by a dude at my job? Like, why would I ever in life do that? Why would any guy do that? And
I feel like I understand you might not want to fuck with that nigga because he piping the bitch that you want. I understand that more.
That's just bitter.
That's
just bitter.
But it's like to look at that nigga and come at him, but like on some respect shit. Just like, yeah. What are your intentions for her? Mm-hmm. What are you trying to do? Because I really like her,
bro.
It's just like, whoa, what?
Bruh, hold like that, mind blowing. Continue, my bad.
But it's just like that. Because I can understand a nigga being bitter about a nigga fucking the bitch that he want. Mm-hmm. But for you to placate...
Don't get bitter, get better.
Yes, don't get bitter, get better. But this is worse than don't get bitter, get better. I'd rather be bitter than to lower myself and be like coming to this man talking about, so what are your intentions for her?
Right.
You're asking permission of this man to fuck with this other girl.
But see, understand the perspective, though. Because I highly doubt that guy, well, consciously perceived it as him lowering himself for that. I believe that he probably looked at that as, yo, I'm gonna do the respectful thing. Like, I want her. I know she dealing with so-and-so. They not together.
But in the end, you are lowering yourself. It's like he might not perceive it that way, but that's what it is.
I would agree to some extent. Like, yeah, you're definitely lowering yourself. Like, I would say, if I'm dealing with a girl and she is dealing with other dudes, well, okay. I mean, that's not my girl, so I mean, I'm not gonna expect you to just be loyal to me and you're not mine. Okay, she did not ask you to be in a relationship. If a girl wants you, she's gonna ask you, "What are we?" She wants to be your girl. She's gonna make sure that you like establish that. In the same way, if a girl wants to fuck you, you gonna fuck. If she wants you to be her man, she's gonna ask them questions. She's gonna act like your girl. She's gonna do everything already. For you to go and ask the man, what are your intentions, as though that has anything to do with your success with this girl, What if he said, yeah, go for it? You think that like raises your chances of being with her?
Mm-hmm. This should never be done. This should never be done by any man. Because at the end of the day,
craziness.
Did this couple last? Do you know?
They did not.
They did not.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever do it. Don't ever do it.
And it's crazy. I mean, like, it's low-key mind-blowing to me because, like, I guess in the past, I probably would have looked at it and been like, well, I see it. He trying to be man to man, and you don't know if she still got feelings for him. And, like, maybe if I talk to him, he'll back off. Like, what would you have done? Like, what? I didn't ask this question, but this is just coming to my mind right now. What if the nigga was like, or my barber, like, I don't think he would have done this, but I'm saying, what if he's like, yo, look, bro, that's not my girl. I'm not about to make her my girl, but I'm gonna keep fucking.
Yeah.
You do you. I mean, y'all can figure out y'all shit, but as long as I can fuck, I'ma fuck. Like, if y'all
keep answering these late night calls.
Yeah, it is what it is, bro. Like, I mean, you do you. Like, if you want to be with her, be with her. And if she with you and still down to fuck, I'ma fuck. Like, be fully aware that me being able to fuck, I'm gonna fuck. Whether she with you, she not with you, whatever. If I could fuck, I'ma fuck. Because I've been fucking, I'ma keep fucking. And that is what it is. If you want to wife her up, hopefully you got enough respect in her eyes to where she loyal. And if she not loyal, that ain't my business because she not my girl. Mm-hmm. Like, it has nothing to do with me. This is you wanting a girl who I'm fucking. This is you wanting a girl who has not but, like, made you her only source of sexual stimulation. If she got me on her roster, she could stay on my roster. If I drop her, cool. If she drop me, cool. But bro, why you talking to me about my team when you trying to be on her roster? Don't worry about my team. Don't. Why are you looking at my
shit,
team?
I'm not gonna lie, that's funny as shit.
It's like we not even playing the same sport, bro. Like, we not playing against each other, bro. It's like you got your team. Worry about who on your roster. You trying to add something to your roster. At the same time, you trying to join her roster. It is what it is, nigga. Is you trying to be a team player or not? Like, what's up? Like, focus on your roster, bro. Get your team right. If you focusing on your one player, your other niggas is getting overworked. It's like, bro, what's good? Yeah. But I don't think I would have had that perspective 8 months ago. Yeah. like when we started talking, well, maybe not 8 months ago, but damn near a year ago. Like, I don't think I would have had a lot of these thoughts a year ago, but it really is something that you got to just grasp. A lot of dudes get messed up in that. Like, in my reflections, I see a lot of mistakes that I've made throughout my life. And it sticks out to me more and more. Like, as far as you, like, I've talked about my blue residue, talked about my particular situation, things that I did wrong, and even after that, even after me making blue residue, I got back with her. It's kind of funny though, because
you had to make another video about that.
Had to, but it's interesting because the first videos and my growth up to that point got me into that situation to where she even wanted me again, and I was still different. Like, I was still on some one-nightish. I didn't believe in plate spinning. I didn't believe in any of that. And as I grew even further after that situation, I'm like, oh, I kind of get it now. I don't fully. I still deal with my own, like, little problems where I don't see certain things. I'm still ignorant to a lot of things, like certain things I'm not experienced with. But I see it so wild now, to the point where I've even considered doing a blue residue part 4. But just so I can get even more information out. Just so I can say, like, oh, okay, so look, this might happen. You might have this understanding of things, but one, never get clouded by your perception of emotions, because emotions are just feelings based on a belief. You know, you believe in certain things, but then that goes into how much can you believe? What is your belief based in? If you love a girl based on things she has said to you, it's different than loving a girl based on things she has done for you. Loving a person, fuck it, based on things they've said versus they've done. Women tend to be more physically expressive, more body language. Dudes tend to be more straightforward, vocal, say it how it is. you are going to be lost if you don't understand communication, if you don't understand the nature of men and women. And as a man, it's important to recognize your own nature. Don't be ashamed, be empowered. And if you don't understand women's nature, then you're just going to be lost, bro. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like, it's just so much to it. Like, where's your head at on this? Like, what are some mistakes that you have made that you've reflected on and like seen, like, I did this wrong. I should have did this, or hey, I did this here, and look where the success got me, or look how success came from doing that. That ties into everything.
It's hard because like when I do, I'm so used to cutting it out. It's just like, yeah, that was in the past. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
I don't do a lot of past. But what I will say is when, like, it's talked about in the book, but it's like when I was getting the most pussy, I never really was focused on it. Or it's just like I was doing me. I was, fuck it. I say what the fuck I say. I do what I do. Like that assertiveness. And it's like, now I understand why certain shit worked and why certain shit didn't.
Right.
It's just like, you see the Matrix, quote unquote. It's like women respond to shit. Most niggas go wrong where they go their life believing the lies that woman told them, or this how you want a good woman, this, that, and the third. Don't ever believe what a woman says.
See, I wouldn't even trump it up to that so much. I would say more so society. I mean, like we've discussed the whole feminine imperative thing, all those type of issues, but really it's just the way society is currently and how we're told to get what we want. This goes into the friendships, flowers, and candy. Like even like our conversation. Well, when I say our, I mean me and my barbers earlier today. It started off with the platonic male friends for females conversation, and we were going back and forth, and we disagreed on a lot, but it really shows how different people see certain things. Even the dissonance aspect, where it's like you might have certain experiences where you get it, like you learned based on your experiences. There are certain views that you don't have, which are not necessarily completely based in experience. It could be based partially in experience, and then it could be based on perspective personally. It could be based on societal influence, like us going back and forth on platonic. It made me think of our conversation with Josh where he disagreed because to him, like if you had sex with a friend, that is what breaks platonic. Whereas we looked at the definition and it's but intimacy and affectionate, but not sexual. So if you were to be open to sex, if somebody were to hit you up and ask you for sex and you would be down for it, that isn't platonic, simply off of the potential for sex. And then we were getting into like, well, if I know it's most likely not going to happen, I'm not even thinking about it. Well, it's not about whether you think about it or know it's going to happen. It's about if you would be open to it if given the opportunity. And then we went in there. But like, even that perspective, that reflection on it, it shows how like, even nowadays, most men, you could be successful. You could have certain RP tendencies, but that doesn't necessarily make you RP aware. It doesn't give you the full extent of it. We could have certain back and forths, and you might have experience to where you've learned it naturally. So when I say certain things, you agree. Or opposite, you might have had different experiences to where you might disagree based on something you've gone through. There are always factors that are going to be there to differentiate. But when I like saw that part, like when we're just going back and forth on platonic, I feel like that could be more of a societal issue, right? Where how we perceive things to be, the perception of a guy that is just around the female just to be friends, even though he wanted to smash off rip. The guy doesn't want to be looked at as somebody who's just waiting to catch the prey. You might genuinely have a good relationship. You might not even be thinking about trying to smash because you know she's not into you. But if she were to hit you up the next day and be like, yo, come through, I want to smash. If you would be down, it's not platonic. Even though you don't think about smashing, even though you don't actively try to smash, if you would, it's not platonic.
I got a question.
Okay.
Do you think male and female being friends like in the past was actually a thing? Like,
Probably did not, but
like, did women and men
yeah,
strictly friends at that point, or did women have men to lean on that weren't their husband that could give them advice, and they were just friendly? They would just do shit together.
Beta male orbiters have always been a thing. I think it's harder to look at it from the perspective of a woman because women like attention and they value the attention of the highest value dude they are surrounded by. But that being said, they accept all forms of attention except for, like, let me not word it that way. Women accept attention from anybody. The type of attention varies. Whether it's a cat call they don't like or whether it's flirtation they do like, whether it's monetary attention, like pay your rent, whether you're attractive or not, paying rent can do two different things. Like it's so much type of attention that women tend to look for. I mean, dudes look for attention too, different types most of the time. A lot of times we want sexual attention and then we want other things in place, right? But it's different when we talk about friendships. You grow up as a child, you need to have different friends, develop your social skills, so on and so forth. But as we go through puberty, that's where shit kind of, it's like, okay, well, you start to see that more. When we talk about the bros and bros over hoes and you trying to get girls. Once we get to the age of trying to find mates, like the youngest, like we're driven by our hormones, our desire for sexual compatibility, all these different things, we go into a place where, well, all right, I'm approaching her because she's attractive. I'm approaching her because I like this about them. We approach people on average. Your heterosexual person is going to approach most people of the opposite sex either for something helpful or for sexual attraction. You're going to approach a random, like if a guy was to walk up to a random girl that was attractive, say hello to her or whatever, he's not looking for a friend. He's attracted to her. He would like more. That's different from, excuse me, hey, like, do you know how to get to wherever? Like, do you know how to find this? Like, if you need something, you'll speak to anybody if you need something. So why is somebody speaking to you? You know what I mean? Like, what is it? What is the reason? Like, I feel like it's society saying, well, maybe they were just trying to be nice. Maybe they were just bored. Maybe they were lonely. All these different things where it's like, yeah, I'm not saying these aren't factors, but I would say a majority of the female friends that dudes got were either their homie's girl or a girl that turned them down or a girl they're not attracted to. It's your homie's girl. She either turned you down or you weren't attracted to her. That's a majority of dudes' friends that are females. It's like, how many dudes do you know with attractive female friends that would not fuck if given an opportunity? Outside of it being your homie's girl. It's like...
Slim.
It's very slim. Then a lot of dudes get caught up thinking about whether or not their girl would actually cheat on them, but it's not the point. You don't need to worry about that. It's not your decision to make. But the perspective on it is kind of wild. We are platonic friends, or our perception of platonic within the male aspect tends to be based on accessibility opposed to choices, given options. It's like, it's not about whether or not you have access to it that makes it platonic. It's whether, if given an option, you would take it that develops it, that determines whether or not it's platonic.
I feel like it comes from a misunderstanding about, like, reality. Mm-hmm. It's just like everything is transactional.
Yeah.
It's like when somebody might say, it's like, if I'm paying all the bills, I got everything hold down, I need my wife to do this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
And then the women might get mad. It's just, I forget the video or the YouTube channel, the Elises or whatever, when they was talking about how women press for monogamy, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. The couple?
Yeah, the couple.
The couple, yeah.
Kadeem and some.
Yeah.
Duvall.
Yeah, Duvall and Kadeem, yep.
Yeah. He was like, why do women press for monogamy, but yet when a man wants only you,
y'all not
it's a problem.
Yeah. When a guy wants to have sex with you, you can't provide.
A lot of women, when you get to that concept, it's like women be like, oh, that sounds so transactional.
Mm-hmm.
But everything is transactional. Yeah. Everything that you do, you approach, you talk, you interact with people for a reason. There's always a reason behind it. That's right. Why unconditional love is romantic a myth. Love. Unconditional romantic love is a myth. Mm-hmm. Because you got with that person based on conditions. Mm-hmm. That they met those conditions, and that's why you chose or you loved them. Fact. Because they fit the description of what you thought or the dream that you had.
Right.
Once they stop fulfilling that, no wonder shit falls apart.
This is what it is at that point. I mean, even though that's a little bit depressing to like word it like that, that is the case.
And it's like, I feel like that's one of the most, it's like one of the first barriers that people have. Mm. That misconception of, oh, niggas just do shit out of the goodness of their heart, or I'm gonna love you no matter what. Yeah. It's just that hope.
Or at least in a romantic setting. People do things out of the goodness of their heart, but it's like different. Like you might see a homeless person and buy them a meal. You might see somebody struggling with something and you can help them, so you help them. That's different. But like in the context of romance, nothing is just unconditional. It's all based on, it's like women, the dude walked up to you because you were attractive. Stay attractive. Dudes, the girl got with you because you provided a certain lifestyle and had a certain potential. Continue that lifestyle and execute and establish the results of that potential. Like, you need to do that. Like, that's a requirement. It's not unconditional. It's under the conditions that you maintain whatever that initial attraction got you. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot more to it. Like, you ain't got no type situation where you fucked up and you can see and reflect on how you've grown. That's what I want. I want to hear something. You ain't got one story in any way.
What, you want a story? I'm not a story type guy. I keep the past in the closet. I do.
Man, fuck all that. It's the Big Cap. I done told my whole fucking like history. Done
different.
Put messages and shit. It's like, fuck it. Because that's the only way. People, you gotta, like how they say, you can't, don't never learn anything from a natural. Because they can't explain it to you. It just comes natural to them. They can't explain the struggle. They can't explain starting from zero and building. You just don't get it. You don't understand the work it takes. It's like, yeah, you could, like it's like learning how to stay skinny from somebody who grew up in an active family and got a high metabolism and eats healthy. They don't understand the habits that you have, not having grown up being active, not having grown up eating healthy, breaking those habits, establishing these new habits, bettering. They just look at it like it's so easy. But if you got that person who used to be fat, who is healthy now, has done the research, they understand the struggle, they could relate, they got tips and tricks to overcome shortcomings, that's where you learn. It's a lot. But you really just gonna keep your past in the closet, bro. You ain't got, come on.
I'm just not that type bull.
Word.
It's like, when have I ever talked about my past?
I mean, I feel you. All right, I ain't even gonna press it. I ain't gonna press it.
Because I'm really trying to think. It's just like, I don't have that emotional attachment to certain shit. So it's like when you say think about your past, it's just like, I can't think of anything that's important enough to tell. Based on my perspective on how I viewed it.
Hey, I feel that. I feel you there. I feel like you have to struggle in order to become stronger. Like, you have to overcome certain bullshit. You have to take L's. You got to blow money to no money, as they say. Like, how the hell you going to know what to do with money? You ain't never had money before.
Facts.
It's like, you got to, like, go through some dollars, make a few mistakes, scrape your knee. Learn how to, like, ride that ride. and that's the only way you're gonna get better at it. But I feel like and just
most of hold up. If you want to know about me,
okay,
most of my shit came from. If I would have understood the red pill back in the day, I would have got a whole lot more pussy. Only thing was, I couldn't recognize the cues because I'm not a social person. I don't really talk like that. So it's like I really couldn't. Like when I think back now with the information that I have now, it's just like I could have smashed, but it's like I just didn't see it.
Yeah.
So I went about my way.
Even beyond seeing it though, it's having the tools to execute. It's like you might see signs that it's some water under the ground, but how you gonna know the day? I forget what movie it was. It was like a dinosaur movie. This shit funny as fuck. Where there's a bunch of dinosaurs moving around.
That shit was dead.
I think it's called Dinosaur. Where like literally these niggas is looking for the water. Ain't nobody got water. But then one day like the dude like he saw something in the ground. And he was like, "Yo, dig right here." Started digging. The water came out. It's like you might like I feel like having the RP goggles is being able to see. Oh shit, it's some water right here. I need to dig. But then after that, it's like
I didn't have that.
But no, it's like after that, do you know how to dig? Do you have the tools to do so? How are you going to go about you know like what it is. You don't know how to respond. You might know how to respond, but you don't know the tools to go about it with. And that right there is, I feel like a big...
Yeah, you can see the water, but you don't know how to get the water.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, it leads to a bunch of other bullshit. Like, I reflect all the time, personally, and I wanted to do this episode just to reflect on a bunch of different things. Like, whether or not it's something as simple as like the platonic friendship thing, which tends to get like way more complicated the more we discuss it. Or even like the dude literally asking another dude permission to wife the chick that the other dude was smashing. It's like, what the hell? Like these decisions that we make, like when we go out of our way for certain things and we just don't know how to properly function without some type of...
See, I feel like I could get the water. I just couldn't see the water. I'm the nigga. I'm hitting some dry ass shit. That's the water not over.
You digging in the dry spot.
Yeah, it's just It's not gonna happen.
See, I feel you. I mean, personally, I feel like I got out everything I need to say as far as the reflection area. I want to do these more often because the more I learn, the more I just want to reflect on it. I want to ask different people their perspectives and see how it is we all differ, see what it is we share in common based on our perspectives. And it's so much more to discuss when it comes to this.
That's a fact. It's like an onion.
Yeah.
You get layers and layers and layers and layers of this shit.
That's
and the
real.
deeper you go, it's like the more interconnected shit becomes. Like you can see, okay, this leads to this, but this also is explained by this, which is why this happens. And it's like you can just see how connected shit is.
Peel it back. But yeah, I feel like that's it. It's been another one.
Big Cat, no bullshit.
No bullshit. Your boy Gravity the Beast.
Twan, neighborhood real nigga, you already know.
Right. Like, comment, share, subscribe.
Subscribe, bitches.
Real shit.
Subscribe.
We'll be back at you. Deuces.
Peace.